Hi there, it's Kim from Crafty Roo Designs and happy Christmas to you all. Now today is day 25 of our Christmas countdown, so let's check out our stamps. We have a wonderful stamp set with some florals and a texture stamp. So as we've been doing tags, I've decided we're going to do a tag again today. So that's where I'm going to start. So I'm just going to trim off the corners as usual. And I'm going to use the vine stamp from this set to create our tag, but it's not quite looking like I wanted it to, so I'm going to grunge up this tag a little bit using our texture stamp. Well, I thought I was going to use a texture stamp. So as you can see, after much faffing, I've decided to use that lovely saying stamp in the background. So I've chosen some colours that kind of match my patterned paper. So I've got a speckled egg, which I'm just going to pop on my desk and then do a quick splodgy background just to grunge this tag up a little bit. And of course I need to dry that, and then I'm going to go over the top again with some walnut stain. And again, I'm just going to tidy my desk and get that dry so we can do some stamping. So I don't think the speckled egg will be enough of a colour, so I'm going to use our walnut stain to just randomly stamp this in the background. And then of course we need to get this dry before we do any more stamping. I've decided it's still not quite looking how I want it to, so I'm just going to distress around the edge just to frame it all. And doesn't that look so much better? So now it's time to stamp our vine. So I'm going to stamp it once onto the tag, and then I'm going to stamp it again onto some scrap paper, because no matter how much colouring I do, it's not going to be strong enough on that tag. So I want to stamp it onto some nice white card that we can then colour and decoupage over the top. And of course I give that a quick dry before I colour it in. And I've decided to do a lovely pink flower at the bottom of this one. Or as Mr. Roo pointed out, it could be a bunch of grapes. So now they're coloured, I have dried them, and I'm just going to cut them out. So we have our tag. I need to put a hole in the top for some ribbon, and then I think I'm just going to do a quick doodle around the edge. just going to use some ribbon to pop through the top of my tag. So I've gone for a blue and a purple. Now do be careful when you're popping your ribbon through, or else you end up with a bit of a whoopsie like me, where I decided to pull it too much and I ripped my tag. So once I've fixed my ribbon into my tag, I'm just going to do a little bit more positioning on here. So I've got that white scrap piece of card. I'm just going to tone it down using the same colours I used on my tag. So I'm going to use that speckled egg to create a splodgy background. And I'm just going to dry that off. And then I'm going to ink up that beautiful texture stamp and stamp that over this little piece of card. I'm just going to trim it down slightly, it's a bit too big. There you go, you can start to see how this is going to come together. So as always, if I've used oxides, I need to clean my stamps off. And then I've decided that background is a little bit too plain, so I'm going to take that same texture stamp and ink it up using the walnut stain on the background of our card. You can see that just really adds some texture to the back of this card. So I've just stamped that on both sides of my card, and then I'm going to dry it with my heat gun. So that's now dry. I want to just distress around the edge of this texture panel, just to give it a bit of a frame like we did with our tag. And then just so it's not left out, I'm going to doodle around the edge as well. So we've got a tag with the extra bits cut out, and we've got a texture panel. We just need our saying now. So I'm just going to stamp this onto a scrap piece of white card and then trim it down. So I'm just going to give that a quick dry. And then because we have those beautiful open letters, I'm just going to colour them in the same colour as our flower on our tag. And of course that needs to dry as well. So now that's dry, I just want to trim it down because I don't want much of a border around this, and then I'm going to mat it as well. So I've just chosen some really dark brown card for this one. So I always find it easier, and it's a cheat, to stick my sentiment on, and then I've not got it dangling around as I try to cut it out. And this means I don't have to measure, because we all know how good I am at measuring. So there you go, I think we have all our bits ready now to put our card together. I'm starting with that texture piece, then our tag, but I think it needs a little bit more, so I'm just going to root out some washi tape and just put a little strip behind my tag, because I think that tag just needs a bit of a border, and because our card is craft card and our tag is brown, I think it's just lost, whereas if I just put a little bit of washi tape, it soon jumps back off the pages. I'm just going to make sure I glue my tag down, and I'm going to add a little bit of extra glue where my ribbon popped through the top. And then to stick my flowers sentiment on, I am going to use some sticky pads. And then finally, I just need to put those leaves and flower on our tag, and again I'm going to use foam pads for this. And there you go, one finished card using our Christmas Day stamp set. I do hope you've enjoyed your Christmas countdown. Do come back tomorrow because we have one more inspiration to share.